We are just a stone's throw from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it is rocking and rolling here at Huntington Bank Field in downtown Cleveland. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now they'll change things around before the snap. Off the bootleg, Davidson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 8 there on the play, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
They'll run with a rookie drafted in the 3rd round. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. You look at this Browns defense. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
You know, when actors get ready for a scene, they often ask the question, what's my motivation? But what's the motivation of this group? What's their mindset? What's the problem that they have? Will they create an identity that allows them to get better?
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd down and 8. In motion left goes Smith. Here's 2nd and 8. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Looking to throw. Davidson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the 1st quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Out of the gun, McDonald. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He didn't like what he saw downfield, decided his best course of action was to take off and run. And that ended up being a gamble that did not pay off for him. Now they would have to gamble again if they want to keep this series going.
Ethan Evans on now to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
You look at this Browns defense. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say.
And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Let's go. 3rd and 19. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on 3rd down, the Browns going to go with a nickel set. Back to throw. Davidson. That's caught. Puka Nacua. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with McAllister. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 9. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going to be taken in here by Nacua. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. There he goes, right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, for the offense, it looked like that drive had the makings of something good. They were starting to hit a groove, but the defense clearly had other ideas, not only to force the turnover, but to handle the scoring themselves.
Yeah, no panic in their eyes, was there, partner? Think about it this way. A Hall of Fame coach once told me the best characteristic he liked out of his teams was that they didn't flinch. This group, they got pushed back in an early series, kept their composure, and made a big play that swung the momentum their way.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 10. They'll run up the middle with McAllister. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
From the gun on 3rd down, Davidson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They will start this drive with Ford. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 4. Again, they turn to Ford. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. 3rd and 3. McDonald. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. The Browns at 500, sitting at 5-5. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
2nd and 5. They run with 4. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Flush to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. Here's Ethan Evans now. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off, and he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, that puts them in that position.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
And now they'll shift things around. They'll send a receiver in motion left. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Davidson. Trying to lay one up deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. On the ground, it's Ford. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And the Eagles with a dime look. 6 DBs on third down. McDonald sets to throw. Going for the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Back to throw. Davidson in trouble, and he's taken down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Smith in motion right.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. He's got a man, complete. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. A big play there for Philly. 71 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
This is 2nd and 8.
Looking to throw. Davidson. Touchdown, Eagles.
Devontae Smith.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Eagles are an extra point away from drawing level. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go. Trap 60, trap 60. Go.
Here's McDonald to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. 37 yards. And the Browns will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up. Throwing to start the drive. Davidson. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Davidson steps away to his left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. From the gun on 3rd down, Davidson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A 1-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
From the 33, here's second down and 7. Hauled in here, Caldwell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Okay, break. Ready.
Draw play to Ford. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Elliott on for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Throwing is McDonald. Right back to Njoku. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And this one's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go, set. Mustang 19.
They'll look to throw again. He finds his man complete. It's Ford. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 44-yard line. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. They go play action with McDonald. Flushed out right. And he's got to hook up here to Caldwell. And down inside the 15 he goes. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. It's completed to Caldwell. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Ready? Go!
This is Ford, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. McDonald. And that's going to be incomplete.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter. So an 8-play drive gets him down there, but play number 9, that winds up a missed field goal.
And they definitely moved the ball well. That's a drive where you hate to come away with nothing.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's got Smith here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
2nd and 4. Screen play to McAllister. He's got room at the 30. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 23. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Gets this to Saquon Barkley out of the backfield. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to...
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Barkley going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Let's go now.
Barkley again, but he will go backwards as he stopped for a loss. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Forced out to his left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, the pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the 2nd half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
At this point in the 2nd half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Let's go. Ready?
Back to throw. McDonald, and Walker has it. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Okay, ready?
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. McDonald. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Operating from the gun, Davidson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion.
Slot man moves right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. He'll take it at the 42. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now a handoff up the middle. Ford. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's 2nd and 7.
18, Pioneer.
Back to throw. McDonald. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. From the gun on 3rd down, McDonald eluding the pressure right. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Up the middle they go. It's Ford, and he'll go down at the 28. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Play action. It's McDonald. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A great play there. 28 yards. And the Browns are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. From the 38 now, here's second down and 5. On the draw, this is Barkley. And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The dog pound barking as loud as they can here. Third down. Not liking the look. They'll change the play. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The noise is getting deafening. Here's third down and 3. Off the bootleg. Davidson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. First and 10 here. Looking to throw. Davidson. His throw incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 48 yards. And the Eagles answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. They'll come up first and 10 here.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Ready? Panther 11, Panther 11. Ready?
They'll look to throw. Completes to Njoku. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Back to throw. He finds his man. Complete. That's Caldwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's back to throw.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
They'll come up now. 2nd and 9.
Check that. Street. Come on. Dragon 60. Check go.
Back to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's 4th. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Under 50 seconds to play. Here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
A big play in this football game. 3rd down and 1.
Ready.
McDonald. And this is going to be incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
Here we go. Go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
That's going to be caught. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. This is 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's going to have a first down, but he's tackled inbounds up near midfield. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Well, this offense still has the one timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Davidson. He sets to fire deep. Oh, look at this. It's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
The Browns drive about to get started. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick it.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on second down. They'll go to Barkley again. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now a first throw here in overtime. That is caught, and he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
On the give, McAllister with it, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
2nd down and 8. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. Up the middle with Barkley. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 43-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
3rd and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, fourth down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on fourth down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And this Browns defense stands tall. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
Next score wins, but remember, this will be a tie if the period ends with no scoring as they work on second down. They'll keep it on the ground. Ford. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3.
18, ready.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get into overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now because they've eased into overtime. That first series, boy, everything on the line then. Now you've seen what a defense is thrown at you. You can make some adjustments, and all you need is 3 points to win it.
Second down, here's Barkley again. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 58 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now they'll change things up. Again, it's Barkley. At 5 yards, not going to cut it here. That clock continues to run. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll have a first down to the 45, but the tackle comes inbounds. Now a timeout called for by the offense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
Let's go now. Trap 60, trap 60. 60 now.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
So that's it. No double overtime until the playoffs rolled around, so that means this one ends in a tie.
Yeah, that's ultimately unsatisfying for both teams, the fan bases. Heck, for us.
True.
We came here to see a winner, right?
We did.
Winner and a loser. We didn't get it. We end up with a tie. Everyone walks away. A little bit cranky on this one.
Meh.
Yeah,
MEH, man. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.